gentlemen, I call to order this special meeting of the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors at 6 p.m. held on Thursday, January 2nd, 2025 at the County Administration Building, 1 Center Street, Chatham, Virginia, for purposes of reorganization of board leadership. In the absence of the County Administrator, the Board of Supervisors has designated that I, Matt Evans, County Attorney, conduct this meeting until such time as the board selects a new chairman. We'll begin with roll call. Ms. Katie?
Mr. Bowman?
Here.
Mr. Dalton?
Here.
Mr. Dudley?
Present.
Can you give your address that you're calling from?
Yes, ma'am. 284 Clover Road, Park, Virginia, 24563.
And your reason for not being here tonight?
Diagnosed with COVID, and anyway, that's where I'm at.
Yes, sir, thank you. Mr. Height?
Here.
Mr. Ingram?
Here.
Mr. Tucker?
Here.
Mr. Whittle?
Here.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3. Are there any revisions to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move to item number 4. With no revisions, we will proceed with the approval of the agenda. I will entertain a motion for said approval.
I'd make that motion, Mr. Evans, to approve the agenda as presented.
Mr. Dalton has made a motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Tucker. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye, or did we vote?
With still roll call.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
Motion carries. Agenda is approved as it stands. We will now proceed to agenda item number 5. Chairman nomination and election. Just a note, each nomination will require a second, and that if there is more than one valid nomination, those nominations will be voted on in order that they are made. Pursuant to section 1.2 of the bylaws of the Board of Supervisors, I will now open the floor for nominations for chairman of the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors for the year 2025.
Mr. Evans, I'd like to nominate Mr. Robert Tucker, Jr.
Mr. Robert Tucker Jr. has been nominated. Need a second.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Whittle has seconded that nomination. We have a nomination for Mr. Robert Tucker Jr. to serve as chairman of the board. Any other nominations? Hearing none, we will proceed to a vote on that nomination. Nomination for Mr. Robert Tucker Jr. to serve as the chairman of the board. I would ask for a roll call vote, Ms. Z.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
The voting is unanimous. Congratulations, Mr. Tucker. You are now the new chairman. Chairman Tucker, I cede control of the meeting to you.
Thank you, sir.
First off, would like to make a statement to the board and also to the constituents of Pittsylvania County. I probably, can I use this podium real quick? It's not plugged in. Okay, we'll just do it here. First off, join me in a moment of silence for the passing of our 39th president, President Jimmy Carter. Just a moment of silence. Thank you. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, and I want to share with everyone the reason that I serve as an elected official of Pittsylvania County is I have a deep found love for this county and a passion. I want to thank my colleagues for their confidence in me in terms of appointing me to this awesome task. I pledge to serve with integrity, dignity, and respect. I will always be very approachable by the board and the commission and also the public. I also want to thank the supervisors. We all took different routes and we all have different backgrounds in getting to this point. appreciate your passion and your willingness to serve. I also want to thank my wife who's present. Without her support, I probably wouldn't be here. And I want to thank also your families that lend you to the county, because it's a pretty awesome commitment, and you have to give up your time and your talent, and you have to sacrifice time that you can spend with your family. So I appreciate your families as well. We've enjoyed some successes in 2024, and I also thank our previous chairman, Mr. Dalton, for his leadership for the past couple of years. We've also had some challenges, but all in all, I can confidently say that we have made strides, and we're on a journey. And we don't always agree, and we're not supposed to always agree, but yet at the same time, I'm confident that we work together at the end of the day for the entire county. But now I want to just tick off a couple of initiatives that I think that are important, that we need to get the work on almost immediately. We need to make sure that we are serious about investing in our school systems. We have one of the best school systems in the state of Virginia. They do an awesome job, but as we invest in our children, it's not only just an investment in our children, but it's an investment in economic development, because they go hand in hand. We want to continue to make sure that our sheriff department is basically taken care of as far as being able to support them with necessary finances they need, because they go out, they lay their life on the line each time they answer a call. So they need the equipment, they need the funding, and I want to make sure that we are providing that for them. I will wholeheartedly support public safety, and I think that we must not only support them with lip service, but we need to put an emphasis on funding, especially our volunteers, to make sure that they are able to answer the call. And they too put their life on the line anytime that there's a catastrophe in the community. But we want to have some type of strategic plan in place so we can focus on recruitment and also retention. And I want to challenge this board to make sure that we take a look at some way for our volunteers to offset their personal property taxes as an incentive to recruit and also retain our volunteers. That is our volunteers, okay? Ms. Ragsdale, I visited her. Her team is actually out of room in that current facility. Now, I'm going to task the supervisors that will be assigned the property and building committee to start immediately looking for a new space that's adequate for those people to work. They're going to have to make some additional hires with bringing on micropores into the mega park. They're going to have more permitting to take place. They're going to have more inspections to take place. So it's important that we provide them with the adequate space and the tools necessary to get that job done. Also, our industrial parks are filling up in the county, and we want to test our economic development team to make sure that they are actively looking for viable locations in the county to potentially open new industrial sites, because that's critically important for our future going forward. We must get to work immediately putting together a comprehensive plan for this county. This plan is our vision for how we're going to use the land and guide us as we make decisions even on our infrastructure to support our land use. We can no longer allow our comprehensive plan to languish for another decade, and I'm going to propose that that's updated every 5 years, okay? Because of the housing shortage, and we could almost say it's a housing crisis, we're going to be be challenged with having to create a Department of Housing and Community Development as part of that comprehensive plan, to make sure that we're addressing the needs of our residents here in this county. Also, I want to propose, as the chairman, one of the things that's near and dear to a lot of our constituents' heart. We must create an economic, I apologize. We must create an environmental commission to the Board of Supervisors, and they will be tasked with policies, procedures, and practices dealing with the environment, sustainability, and the management of not only energy, but also our environment. And I know I hear a lot of people thinking, well, how are we gonna get all this done? Does that mean another tax increase? The answer is no. We will not raise taxes this year, okay? I want to also implement each November. I think it's important that each November that whomever serves as the chairman of the board gives a state of the county address to take a look at the accomplishments over the year and basically what we want to look forward to accomplishing in the future. And I feel like we can do all of these things if we come together, if we collaborate, and we work together. The last thing I want to address is I want to thank all of the employees that actually work for this county. They are the engine that drives this county forward. So I'm going to propose to this board that we take this time to do a comprehensive compensation study to make sure that we're compensating our employees fairly and that we are competitive with the communities around us, because we want to make sure that we retain our employees, because it costs far too much money to recruit, hire, and also train new employees. So we want to make sure we do that. And also I want to thank all of our partners in nonprofit that answer the call. Thank all of our faith-based ministries that support this county, and we work side by side to improve the lives of everyone in this community. And the last thing I'll say is this. So much of what we do in county government is to prepare a path forward for generations to follow. So it is imperative that we get to work and we are serious about moving this county forward into the future. Thank you. All right, moving to item number 6, Vice Chairman nomination. So now I'll open the floor for nominations for Vice Chair.
Mr. Chairman, congratulations, and I would like to nominate Eddie Height as our Vice Chairman, please.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, sir. It has been moved by Mr. Ingram and seconded by Mr. Dalton that Mr. Height will be Vice Chair. Are there any other nominations? If not, roll call, please. Ms. Kazee?
Yes, sir. Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes. Thank you so much. The motion carries unanimously. Item 7, the adoption of our bylaws. Everyone has a copy in their packet. In fact, we should have read and reread our bylaws. So I will entertain a motion to adopt the bylaws.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Ingram, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Height. Is there any discussion? We're ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes. Moving to item 8, meeting schedule for 2025. I'll entertain a motion to adopt our meeting schedule for 2025. We should have reviewed this in our packet.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion that we adopt the 2025 meeting schedule as proposed.
Second.
All right, Mr. Dalton has made a motion to adopt the schedule. Mr. Ingram has second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes. Now we're down to item, let's see, 9, standing committees. And if we get a second, I'll take these off and then I'll give you a copy.
Thank you.
Well, I'll give you my copy, I'm gonna make a copy. Standing committees, finance committee appointments. Yours truly, Chair, Vice President Eddie Height, Mr. Kenneth Bowman, Tim Dudley. Personnel Committee,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
could you give me those 4 again? I'm sorry, that's Finance Committee.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll make sure you get a copy of it, Mr. Dudley.
Okay.
Okay,
Was that you and Eddie Hyde and Ken Bowman and myself?
that is correct, sir.
Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
No worries. Personnel Committee, Kenneth Bowman, Chairman. Mr. Ingram, Tim Dudley. Property Building Committee, Mr. Ingram, Mr. Whittle, Mr. Dudley. Legislative Committee, Mr. Bowman, Mr. Dalton, Mr. Dudley. All right, we're moving to item 10, which is the special committee appointments. Computer, radio, telecommunications, Mr. Height, Chairman, Mr. Ingram, Mr. Bowman. Board of Supervisors, School Board Liaison Committee, Mr. Dudley, Chairman, Mr. Ingram, Mr. Whittle. Economic Development Committee. Let's see, Mr. Height, Chairman, Mr. Bowman, Mr. Dalton. Solid Waste Committee, Mr. Dudley, Chairman, Mr. Ingram, Mr. Dalton. Naming Committee, Mr. Ingram, Chairman, Mr. Height, Mr. Dudley. Moving down to 11, other appointments. Den River Business Development Center, Mr. Height. River Board, let me pause here and let me just say for the record, I know everyone wants to be on the River Board, a very coveted position. However, all you have to do if you're not appointed to this board is you go to the meeting, you sign a non-disclosure, you can sit in the meetings, you can even go into closed session, okay? But we have a lot of things on the drawing board that we have initiated, so to maintain continuity, what I'm going to do is I'm going to appoint myself, Mr. Ingram, and the alternate is going to be Mr. Dalton. So we're going to stay here. Fire and Rescue, the man of the hour, Mr. Whittle. You show up at the meetings anyway. You're gonna do fine. Metropolitan Planning Organization, it's gonna be Mr. Bowman, Mr. Height, and myself. Pittsylvania County Community Action Board, Mr. Height. Pittsylvania County Planning Commission, Mr. Dalton. Roanoke River Basin Association, Mr. Dudley. SR Title III, Mr. Bowman, Mr. Whittle. Pittsylvania County Social Services Board, Mr. Dudley. VACO, Virginia Association of Counties, Mr. Bowman. West Piedmont Planning District Commission, Mr. Bowman, Mr. Height. Community Policy and Management Team, the women would be upset if I didn't return, so I'll be there. Sun River RIFA, Regional Industrial Facility Authority, Mr. Dudley, Mr. Dalton, and yours truly, I'll be an alternate. Tri-City Lakes Administration Committee, Commission rather, Mr. Dalton. Danville Utilities Commission, Mr. Whittle. It's in your district. All right.
No, you can't vote for something I don't want to do.
Keep them straight on that.
All right, moving to item 12, the at-large appointment, the TLAC citizen at large. I'll entertain a motion, it should be in the packet. I think Mr. Bagsdale has served on that
She has,
committee,
Mr.
so.
Mr. Chairman, I would, make a motion to reappoint her to TLAC board.
Second.
Mr. Dalton made the motion to reappoint Ms. Emily Ragsdale, second by Mr. Ingram. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes. Thank you so very much. Just before, we get ready to go into closed session, congratulations to Mr. Height. I'm going to lean on you, and I'll be absent most of the time, so you just have to stay. But, if you want to make a statement, go ahead, sir.
I'd just like to thank the board members for, putting your trust in me. I'll do my best not to let you down too many times. Look forward to the year we have coming. We'll warn you, gentlemen, my first year on board was sitting back and learning. This year we're gonna work. We've got some big projects to do. We've got a lot of stuff to get done for the county. So, guys, roll your sleeves up. Might be some late nights.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Ms. Kazee, I may have made an error. Local elected officials, I did share with you. Mr. Bowman is going to be there. Is that correct? Did I miss that?
You did miss it, yeah.
Okay.
You missed
Okay,
it.
thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I'm jumping.
Well, Mr. Tucker,
Yes, sir.
before we go into closed session, I know my wife is watching this. I would also like to thank my wife for her support. Honey, I really do appreciate it. Appreciate your being there and putting up with me. Guess what? It could be a whole lot more this year.
Now you can go home. Thank you. All right, let's see, we have one item for closed session. I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session.
You need to read this in first.
Read it in, you gotta read it into it.
Mr. Evans needs to read this in, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's one item, it's discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of special or specific public officers, appointees or employees of any public body, legal authority 2.2-3711A1, subject matter, county administrator. Purpose, review, discussion of related next steps. Mr. Chairman, that would be appropriate for a motion.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'll entertain that motion now.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Ingram and second by Mr. Dalton that we will go into closed session. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes. I think we're going to stay in this room. Is that right? I think we should just stay here since we have Mr. Dudley on the phone.
Did everybody?
Board of Supervisors reorganization meeting on January 2nd, 2025. The board hereby certifies by a recorded vote that to the best of each board member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from the open meeting requirements of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act and identified in the motion authorizing the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered in the closed meeting. If any board member believes that there was a departure from the requirements of the act, he shall so state prior to the vote indicating the substance of the departure. The statement shall be recorded in the board's minutes. I will now perform a roll call vote regarding said certification. Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Coming out of closed session, we have one actionable item, which will be 13B, which is concerning personnel. Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a,
Just 1 second.
I'd like to add a item to the agenda concerning appointment of the interim county administrator.
All right. Is that your motion?
To add this item to the agenda, and then I'll
Is it in there?
make a motion.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Height, second by Mr. Bowman to add, let's see, 13D, the interim county administrator. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Ingram?
Yes.
Mr. Whittle?
Yes.
Mr. Height?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Vincent Shorter as the interim county administrator under the same terms as his previous appointment until the end of April 2025, contingent upon Mr. Shorter's agreement.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Mr. Height, and second by Mr. Ingram. Is there any discussion?
I'd just like to make a comment that we do put this in writing, and the county attorney will be the one putting it together.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr. Dalton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley? Mr. Ingram,
Yes.
Mr. Whittle,
Yes.
Mr. Height,
Yes.
Mr. Tucker.
Yes. Thank you so much. Nothing else to claim our attention. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.